But I like to see people come across. I like to see people try it. Because even when Conor went to fight Mayweather, it's impressive.
Yeah.
That's not your sport.
No.
Because one of his greatest signs...
Same thing with Askren and Jake Paul, though, isn't it? Same thing with McGregor and Mayweather.
Yeah.
Like, in a fight situation, we all know it's different. So it's like, I think as MMA fighters, there's a bit of protection in the knowledge that we'll know if it was a fight, it'd be different.
Yeah.
Like Jake Paul... Of course, he's going to have an advantage over Ben Askren in a boxing match. Yeah. But if you put it in any other scenario, Ben Askren wins. So it's almost like, well, you can beat me at cards, you can beat me at boxing, but in a fight, it's like I think MMA fighters, they compartmentalize it and see it as something different. Yeah. So although McGregor would have wanted to get the win over Mayweather, of course,
it's not a loss.
It's not a loss because in the back of his mind, and he knows in the back of everybody's mind, we'll know the reality of the situation. Yeah. It's
because it wasn't a real fight.
See, I think Jake Paul knows this though. Like, I think this is why he's doing so well at it, because him and his brother Logan, they've figured out this. They've been acting like fools on Instagram and Twitter and YouTube for years. Like, this is just another way for him to kind of act out and get attention. Yeah. But he knows the game he's playing. Like, if he was really trying to prove something, he would have crossed over to MMA.
Exactly.
But he's not. He's like, I can do this. I'll stick to this. This is good. Like, I'm upsetting the boxing world as it is, so... But he really is.
That's the confidence that you can get from being financially secure. Like, if you've got a few million behind you, it doesn't matter who you upset. Yeah. It doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter what situation you get into, because you kind of you're stable. It's like even when you look at people with tattoos and they go past the sleeves. Back in the day, that was the everlasting job stopper. Oh, you can't have a tattoo here. Whereas it's all changing now. Yeah. Everything's getting different, and because obviously people are recognizing way more things, it works across so many other platforms. So Jake Paul is monetizing curiosity.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
And he's doing it through something that we've all got a final decision at the end. So even against Woodley, against Askren, because he's got a loud enough voice and he's got the confidence of the backing of his... I'm not just saying it's financial stability, but you know what it's like to know that I'm not going to rely on anyone else. I've got my back covered.
Peace of mind,
exactly.
Yeah, but even so, even if he didn't have that, and this was an even playing field going in, but he was still coming at it from the YouTube direction, and like the new one now, obviously Tommy Fury's coming over from boxing. Like, the reason I think this one's really interesting is because there's an immense amount of pressure on Tommy Fury.
Huge.
Way less like. There was almost no pressure on Ben Askren. No. He wasn't bothered at all. There was pressure on Tyron Woodley, and he didn't do too well with that pressure, but it still didn't, it wasn't terrible for him. Even a loss, it's like, but he was the UFC champion. Tommy Fury's a boxer.
Exactly.
And he's coming from a boxing family, and his brother is already a very successful boxer. So now he's stepping into this kind of circus world. Yeah. And acting one of the clowns when he's actually got to come out looking like the ringmaster. Yeah. And that's a difficult thing to do, because Jake Paul's already accepted his position as the clown. So what else has he got to lose? And I'm not saying that disrespectfully, but it's like but
it's all public.
He's not like Jake Paul's not risking everything to do this. Tommy Fury, of course, can go off and do other things, but like he's owning this career as a boxer, as in like this is him. This is who he is. He's defined himself as that.
Yeah. With the Furies, this isn't just boxing.
No.
This isn't just a lifestyle. This is everything. Everything. And when I say that, it's either you get completely involved and you destroy this motherfucker, because even if Tommy Fury destroys him in 3 seconds, Jake's not going to shut up. No. He's still going to be there, because he's got nothing to lose and everything to gain, because whatever he made off that, he's going to get again. And if he wants to do it again, he can. And it's almost like that bully that won't stop. Yeah. And because, when you want to ignore them, they'll go away. Yeah, most people will. Yeah. But there's always one that is a justified prick because he's probably the son of the headmaster or something else. He's just a thundercon.
He's untouchable. Yeah, which is what Jake Paul is, because he's already got his bank account for him. He's got his and his fan base didn't start following him because he was a boxer. No. They started following him because they're curious of his life.
Yes. But now he's backing it up. Yeah. So now, because he's handpicking these things. So did Tyron come out and say something like, I wasn't allowed to knock him out? Which, unfortunately, even if that's legit and that's carved in stone in the fucking museum, it still makes you look mad salty.
Yeah.
There's no, you can't say it. You can't come out and say, well, I lost, yeah, but I wasn't allowed to knock you out, because you look a bit like a bitch. And I'm not saying he is. I know you've obviously got things going on, but the problem is you can't say that.
But this is where his hesitations backfired and stuff, into it, because as soon as the fight was over, he was like, oh fuck, it's too late.
Yeah.
You know, and that's where that's why he's not answering any questions about it, and he just keeps circling back to the same.
But then
thing,
that gets toxic, and that works worse. And the problem is, someone like Jake Paul sat there still laughing, because he does not give half a fuck.
No, of course not.
Because this is just a game.
Yeah.
And the worst thing is he could literally go from this and then go into basketball, or go into something else. Because guess what? Even if it's for one, let's say he goes into NASCAR.
Yeah. Everyone's going to fucking
They're
watch.
going to fucking watch it.
Of course they are.
And
imagine him trying to get his own NASCAR sponsored. Imagine how much people would pay to be on that.
Of course they would. They'd be all over it. But you've got to respect that. And that comes down to me watching this guy on YouTube playing Call of Duty or whatever. It's a different generation. It's a different world now, because everything is available. Everything's open. And it's how you capitalize on what they're doing. Because like people arguing over goats and stuff and all the rest of it now is more analog, because it's just so fucking irrelevant.
Yeah.
Whereas it's more interesting to see what the future is, and that's why the new gloves are interesting. Judging's interesting. What are we going to see different? Because there's not many sports that have started however many 100 years ago that we look at now and we go, fucking hell, can you remember the big shift?
Yeah.
Because they want it.
It's not been documented as well, isn't it? Like MMA's being documented from the beginning.
Exactly. But that's what kind of keeps it interesting for me. Do you know what I mean? Because you look, and it, even with like Rose and Wei Lee, 1 or 2 strikes in a different play, that could have been a completely different fight.
Yeah.
But it's just, it's such an adrenaline rush. I fucking love it.